for everyone for taking out the time and joining the webinar Transforming Healthcare with 3D Printing. I would like to introduce Mr. Suhas Nikam. Suhas has 12 years of experience and has a proven track record in helping manufacturing adopt emerging technologies. Currently, he is working with EDS Technologies as a brand manager in additive manufacturing. He holds an engineering degree in mechanical from Rajashri Shahu College of Engineering, Pune. So I request Mr. Suhas to give a short brief about the EDS Technology corporate profile. Over to you, Suhas.
Thank you, Aniket, for the introduction. Good afternoon, everyone. I am Suhas Shankar Nikam from EDS Technologies. A warm welcome to our today's webinar on transforming healthcare with 3D printing. Before beginning to webinar, I would like to give a small introduction about our company, EDS Technologies. EDS Technologies established in 1995 and headquarters is in Bangalore. With nearly 30 years of experience, we are one of the India's largest technology solution providers. We are the platinum partner for Dassault Systems. We are the first to introduce advanced technologies like 3D printing, virtual reality, and digital manufacturing to the Indian market. We serve more than 2,000 plus customers across industries such as automotive, aerospace, defense, and mining, and many more. We have 10 offices across India to support our customers with 200 plus associates. We have dedicated regional teams, including marketing, sales, and technical, to handle new business inquiries and support the customer for installation of our solutions. Today, we secure a previous position in the market through strategic partnership with global technologies leader. We are strategic partnership with EOS. EOS is the leading technologies provider worldwide for industrial 3D printing of metal and plastics. Then we are the strategic partnership with Dassault System for CAD, CAM, CA, and PLM solutions. We also partnership with ISRI for GIS mapping, location intelligence, and spatial analytics solutions. We are also strategic partnership with Technia for product data quality management solutions. In that, we have QChecker and Kava solutions. Then we are the partners with Synopsys for electronic design automation solutions. We are also strategic partnership with Humanetics for comprehensive solution for ergonomics, and we have solution called Ramses. EDS technologies serve different industrial verticals for transportation and mobility, aerospace and defense, industrial equipment, natural resources, high-tech, life sciences, consumer goods and retails, infrastructure, energy and utilities, cities and public services. So today, our speaker is Arun Kashyap. I will give a brief introduction about Arun. Arun is a technical manager in EDS Technologies for Additive Manufacturing Department. Arun holds MTech in Design Engineering and has over 9 years of experience in design and prototype development. He is a subject matter expert in prototype development using laser powder bed fusion. He is currently working as a technical manager additive manufacturing at EDS Technologies and handling across the Indian customers. Now I over to Arun to start the webinar on healthcare transformation with 3D printing.
Thank you, Suhas, and thank you, Aniket, for the introduction. So, welcome once again. Good afternoon, everyone, to the webinar. So I'll start with the agenda today. We'll have an introduction to EOS. What is EOS GmbH company we are partnered with for the 3D printing solutions. Then we will have a look at what is additive manufacturing, and subsequently what is specifically laser powder bed fusion process, which is one of the kind of the 3D printing process. And then we will have a look at the medical devices that have been seen and developed using the 3D printing process. We'll also look at the patient-specific implant that are manufactured through additive manufacturing. We'll look at the prosthetic and orthoses applications, and we'll look at the biocompatible materials, exclusive materials for the biomedical and healthcare industry in additive manufacturing. We'll talk about the DFAM in healthcare and certifications for the healthcare that EOS system carries along with their materials, and also talk about the benefits of AM for the healthcare. If time permits, we'll also have a look at the EOS different systems for the polymer and metal, and then we'll lead you to the question and answer session after the webinar. This webinar is going to take roughly about 50 minutes further. So let's just continue. Yeah. So EOS stands for Electro-Optical System. It's a global market leader in laser machine manufacturing and process benchmark and material development for laser powder bed fusion system. EOS is present across 68 countries globally, and they have sold more than 4,000 systems globally in the additive manufacturing field. EOS is a 35 years well-versed organization which has contributed to AM space well, and EOS has a strong ecosystem around the additive manufacturing to avail the training, consultation, and design material process system effectively. This is the company who believe in creating the entire ecosystem for a particular space, which is additive manufacturing. EOS is having more than 1,300 employees working with them, and they have more than 50% market stake in polymer manufacturing and more than 70% market share on metal systems. It started their operations in 26 years back in India from Chennai, and they expanded to Bangalore also. So they are operating from multiple locations in India, supporting the post sales. They have dedicated post sales team in India. They have more than 100 Indian satisfied customers with more than 100 systems already commissioned and running successfully. EOS has dedicated strong post-sales team, as I mentioned, to support Fan India for the post-sales services. And recently, they have added the inventory management also to add the quick support availability of the spare part management and services, post-sales services. So that's about EOS. We, as a partner with EOS, are the technology promoter in India and helping in selling the systems, 3D printing system. So let's begin with what is additive manufacturing. So additive manufacturing is basically a process manufacture the digital data into the physical part. So initially, if we divide the process, the workflow is very simple. It is divided into three stages. One is the pre-processing and the 3D printing process, and third is the post-processing. So it starts with the CAD data. So CAD data may be in any form. It may be an scanned image, or it basically has to be a 3D scanned image like STL or any 3D CAD data. That digital information is prepared for 3D printing, which we call the data preparation, in which we slice the 3D model and we send that information to the respective 3D printing process to perform the job of 3D printing. And finally, once the printing is over, we take out the model and we take it to the post-processing stations where different kinds of post-processings are done for the 3D printing. So that's the basic layout how 3D printing works in the industry for different kinds. If you look at the conventional versus additive manufacturing workflow, normally conventionally we have a block, we have a material with the mechanical properties, and we take that block to the subtractive manufacturing or CNC manufacturing to impart the shape depending on the complexity of the job. We may or may not end up with a lot of wastages in conventional. So if the job is very complicated, the wastages subsequently are very high in the conventional manufacturing. On the other hand, additive manufacturing gives the leverage to add the material wherever it is required, wherever topology permits. So in additive manufacturing, since it happens layer wise, the machine only adds the material wherever it is required, be it for any complicated structure. So you can look the difference between the conventional versus additive, the wastages in additive. That is why wastages in additive is very minimum when it is compared to the conventional processes. The AM, let's have a look at the AM technology landscape. So today, how is the additive manufacturing seen in the market? So if we segregate the additive manufacturing into two segments, one is the consumer segment and hobbyist segment, and second is the industry level segment, because today AM is not more about only consumer level or hobbyist level. It is also about industrial printing. And if we look at the parameters like technology, investment, material, and part quality, so within consumer hobbyist level 3D printing, we have FTM, which is having typical polymer filament. The part quality is not good in that. Then we have resin-based wet photopolymerization SLA process, which uses the liquid resin. There also the part quality in the sense of mechanical strength and all is not good. The longevity is not good. However, the finish and other things in SLA are better. Then we look at the industrial solutions that are there. The technology starts with sheet lamination. So materials available there are paper and polymer blends. There somehow the part quality is better because it is done at an industrial level and the implications are more towards the industry. And they in industrial category of SLA and polymerization process, the industrial level printers are also available where we can print the liquid based photopolymers. There somehow the materials are engineered and tweaked in such a way that they have slightly better performance compared to the desktop printers from the consumer level and hobbyist level. In industrial level printing, also we have FDM in the sense that they are capable of printing some composite materials where they are giving somehow better mechanical properties. So that is why, and also these printers are big in size. So that is why they have implications in the industrial 3D printing. And then next category, we have material binder jetting, where a binder material is used to bind the metal and plastic material. And even wax is also printed in material binder jetting. Uh, the part quality in this is also good, but the difference here is the binder jetting process needs the further curing using the furnace and thermal treatment. Then we have direct energy deposition in the horizon, where it cures the metal material using the direct energy like plasma or laser. And here also the quality in the sense is compromised because the surface finish is not that good. So most of the time we see that the printers are hybrid in nature. They are incorporated with CNC. And at last we have powder bed fusion in the category, which is SLS and DMLS. SLS stands for selective laser sintering, and DMLS stands for direct metal laser solidification, which is a metal technology. So in this technology, we can cure both types of category, polymer and metal materials, and the part quality is up to max. So it's very clear that in the horizon of all the technologies that are available, the industrial level implications and the details, accuracy, and part quality are better in many terms in the powder bed fusion processes available. Yeah. So let's have a look back to the applications which are there, the medical devices. So what are all medical devices that are developed using 3D printing? We'll see. So we'll begin with a case study from the Smith and Nephew. They are into implant manufacturing, basically. So they have this cementless total knee replacement systems, and they are manufacturing these implants using the additive manufacturing in the titanium grade 5 and grade 23 materials, especially grade 23 material, which is bio-friendly. It is so you can the same technology with over 3.5 year for proven clinical history in the Smith Nephews revision cementless system 5, they call it. And they have designed their implants in such a way that they are able to give 80% of the porosity only. The pore sizes they are able to control by 228 micron to 633 micrometer to manage the bone growth and cell. So let's have a look at the workflow, how they are manufacturing the metal implants through additive manufacturing. This is a part of the system. Okay, so Hope it was clear the workflow, how the metal implants are manufactured by Smith and Nephew. Let's move to the next application, which is a micro factory concept where using the EOS system, people have set up the micro factory nearby the hospitals to avail the disposable plastic components in the healthcare industry. This is using our Formiga system, so you can see the animation how the factory layout looks like on the right side image. So this came in picture when there was a requirement to have a facility nearby to the hospital to avail and simplify the supply chain for the medical components. So this you can see here on the image that this mini factory is equipped with basically two uh, Formiga systems P110, and these are two 3D printers, and then it has a pre-processing stations and post-processing stations, and it also has a sterilization facility where they are cleaning. And this facility is completely kind of a clean facility where they manufacture the medical component and they pack and dispatch to the hospitals to simplify the supply chain for the medical equipment nearby. This concept is better in a way to simplify the challenges in the transportation, the challenges in the supply chain of medical equipment, and also specifically on-demand customized supply chain of the medical equipment. So we'll move to the next, which is collaboration for mass production of. So the additive manufacturing is not only for batch production. This can also be adapted in mass production. Like here in this case, we have seen the nasal swabs were manufactured using the US printer, US P385 and P396, and also P760 for the production using PA2200 material. You can see the microscopic analysis of nasal swabs has been done. This is done by Indium Engineering, and this is a good exercise to understand that there is a possibility to simplify the supply chain for such a disposable equipment. Also, especially in the scenario where COVID-19 hit a lot of supply chains in the industry, and this is where the possibility can be seen. So the challenges was the disruption of the global supply chain coupled with the sudden surge in the demand for the COVID-19 test kit led to the need to locally develop and manufacture the cost-effective and reliable nasal swabs for the PCR test kits. The solution was the high volume manufacturing. If there was a solution to manufacture in a high volume these kinds of disposable swabs, so it was seen in through US system it was possible with the requirement of class 2 medical devices, AM and medical knowledge to accelerate design development and manufacturing of such component was possible using these systems. Even not only manufacturing, even the clinical trials were also done. You can see the results on the screen between the conventional and the additively manufactured nasal swabs. The outcome was nasal swabs were certified successfully by Spanish health authority, and they were manufactured around 40,000 swabs per day. The printing possibility with those systems which I highlighted in last slide, and decentralized on-demand production in Europe and North America. So these are the kind of concepts where additive manufacturing is helping in healthcare industry for disposable items even. Yeah. So this was one part, and then let's have a look at uh, whether additive manufacturing is solving on the equipment also, not only the implants and the other medical devices, but it is helping on the other equipments. Like there is a case of robotic surgery module. You can see this casting is manufactured using the metal 3D printing process, and this involves the typical stages like stock addition, orientation, support generation, etc., etc., for 3D printing. And then after machining, the part is ready, and it is assembled in the robotic surgery to actuate like the real part. So this is good in a way that it is fulfilling the demand, the on-demand kind of requirement where there is no requirement of tooling, developing the tools for casting. wherever there is a requirement on demand for the device manufacturing, you can use the 3D printing process. So that's one example, and this is fully functional uh, component made for robotic surgery. So this is all precision covered. Even it underwent the 5-axis machining and CMM inspection, where it qualified for the precision which is required for the robotic actuations in the industry. Okay, so let's get back to so the medical device is covered. Let's have a look at the patient-specific device and implants. So patient-specific medical devices and implants. So in implants, there are dental implants, there are cranial implants, hip implants, knee implants, spinal implants. All these implants are seen to be manufactured using additive manufacturing, and even not only implant, but there are surgical guides and fixtures for neurosurgery and surgical guides for the spine. They are developed surgical guides for knee arthroplasty, and then there are orthoses and prosthetic, uh, which we'll cover during presentation. So let's move forward. So how the typical workflow work in the additive manufacturing of implants, the patient-specific implants, it starts with the scan data of the patient. So someone has to take the scan of the body part, which is meant for manufacturing, and then that image is processed in terms of CAD data, because the basic requirement for 3D printing is the CAD model. You must have a CAD model to process, and then that CAD model is analyzed for the fitment and analyzed for the different environmental conditions, and then that CAD data can be taken up for 3D printing, and finally can be operated inside the patient. So that's the typical workflow. In dental industry, there are implants in like dental crowns and dental bridges and jaw implants. There is one case study you can see, crown and bridge case study, which is printed using the cobalt chrome material using the US system. So there are a lot of medical crown and dental crowns basically printed, and even dental implants printed. And you can see the jaw implants here, which is manufactured. The challenge to manufacture this is basically because these are more of a customized implant. So the challenge is like multiple manufacturing steps overseas resulted in long lead time, because you have to involve multiple stages in manufacturing a particular patient specific implant. With the 3D printing, it is very easy, because the workflow and the process is very straightforward. You have a CAD data, you scan and have a CAD data, and straight away go for manufacturing. So this is not difficult, and that's where you can simplify, and you can reduce the timeline to avail the implant for the surgery. Yes, this is an illustration of how the 3D printed implant underwent surgery. I'll just flash through the installations, the operation procedures, and this got successfully operated inside a patient. And let's have a look at a different category of implant, which is the cranial implant. So this cranial implant is unique in the way that it has to have a porosity to transfer the liquid to tissues and adapt with the body part. So this is possible through additive manufacturing, because additive manufacturing is capable of printing any amount of details or any kind of structures, even the details one. So challenge here was to develop and manufacture the precision fit implant for the cranial area, where permeable for liquid and heat dissipations. The solution was to manufacture with a highly stable and porous cranial implant using the US system, US M2.0. The result was optimized, permeable for liquid, protect against the heat, and stable large-scale implant despite porous structures. Innovative. So the innovation here is to impart the lattice structures, which were allowing the heat dissipation and allowing the liquid to transfer through. Okay. So Yeah, let's move towards the another area where there are a lot of other implants possible, like hip implants. So the hip replacement, you can see how the workflow happen or work here. So you typically it undergoes the scanning of the body part. So first scanning of the patient's body part, and then design and generate that 3D model through that scanning data for to be processed, and then the customization, which is very important part because it is different for different patients. So the customization in 3D printing is very easy because you can have any number of designs printed. It is not bound with any tooling systems where you have to go back again and again to modify. And even here also you can see the stem design even which is guiding that implant is having a different possibilities that you can elongate, you can adjust the sizes. So so the customization is the key in the medical industry, which lies and where additive manufacturing is helping a lot and giving you leverage to customize your design in any manner and print at any time and now avail and simplify the supply chain for that implant particularly. So once that customization is done, you can even think of possibility printing the surgical guides. Like here you can see the white color guide is there, and then other guide components can be printed using the 3D printing systems. So these all are basically the proven materials, the certified materials which are bio-friendly and which can undergo the implant surgery and operations. So this is how the 3D printing, the typical 3D printing happens, and you have the complete set of customized fixtures, guides, and surgery guides printed, and then they get dispatched to the after the cleaning. Yeah. So after sterilization stage, these all implants and surgical guides are ready for the operations, and that's the typical workflow of the industry for the implants to 3D printing. So yeah, next case study is on a neurosurgery, uh, which is manufacturing of a stereo tactic platform for neurosurgery. So the challenge here was manufacturing of star-fixed patient matches frameless stereotactic fixtures. The solution was small batch production of precision surgical components using our EOS Formiga P110 machine, P100 machine. Because such type of surgeries are not major in healthcare, there are possibilities of a lot of customization, and that is where 3D printing has a great use cases in the healthcare industry. The outcome with for this case study was the comfort and care customized design fosters patient well-being and shortens OR time. So the time, first of all, the time to avail the component is very less, and the precision is high because this doesn't require, this is first of all a laser system, so it has its own precision controlled anyway, and it doesn't require any tooling systems, tooling and trials to be changed uh, multiple times to arrive to a precision and improve functionality of the parts. So you can even think of consolidating the parts because there are no challenges of building up the part. You can think of combining multiple parts and then printing. And this is economic to use because it uses less material, as I earlier mentioned in additive manufacturing. It doesn't use a lot of materials and wastages are minimal. To save time and improve outcome of his spinal fusion surgery. So this is one more case where the timeline was saved using the EOS 3D printing solutions and PA2200 material for the spinal fusion surgery surgery component. Reduced operating time was about 17%. The outcome was improved efficiency of entire workflow from planning to recovery, and operating time reduced by 17% because of the quick supply chain, and radiation exposure reduced by 38.5% in that case because it was taken care during the process. And all patients mobilized day one post operation. So that's what the beauty to avail the quick supply of the implants and the surgical guides on site for operations. There is one more case study on the surgical guide system for knee. You can see here this is printed through for Omega P110 again. The challenges were establish a surgical guide system for total knee replacement operations and create a more precise and controlled way to cut bone and provide the advantages of the guide system in comparison to other procedures. Starting solution was to design a personalized implant and surgical guides to optimize knee restorations according to the patient's unique anatomical features and kinematics. So this provide the surgical instrumentation to achieve precise results with the lower cost than the robot assisted procedures. So that's the solutions in the knee arthroplasty area. And there are other so the advantage is novel cutting technique with personalized guide, create micro precision without significant capital expenses, efficient. It was efficient, 1 hour from image to proposed personalization. It was very quick and cost efficient. It was also a cost efficient solution, about 1.5 times to 2 times compared to gross margins of competition. It was fast in delivery. It just took 21 days of delivery from time to surgeon approves the design. So that's very quick to manufacture such a customized medical solutions using 3D printing. Individualization of life-saving implants 3D printed on a Formiga P110. So this is one case study for a kid named Kaiba who has undergone the first time such implants in his body. So the challenge was to build life-saving patient-specific implant from reusable material by means of additive manufacturing, and this was done by University of Michigan. The starting situation of the research it started with the research collaboration between the University of Michigan, its associate hospital, and EOS based on the use of Formiga P110 to print this implant. The outcome was in the individual patient-specific implants splints for children of all ages. So this is the first splint implant implanted on a kid named Kaiba from 3D printing. It was economical, cost-effective, and even in small quantities it was available, and fast and automatic from design to print within 2 days because it's like no time. If you have a CAD data, it doesn't take much time. So I'll just go through this small video for you for the case study. So you can see how the process was taken up. They studied the patient and studied the anatomy and designed the specific part for his body. And this is how the SLS printed parts are depowdered. So this is how they manufactured and processed that material. Had different trials on the patients and operated. Before operating, they tried on different models. They took the model of the bronchus and then tried that implant before operation. Okay, so that's one story, one case study where the 3D printing made it possible to do the different innovations and different possibilities of saving the lives of patients through a customized implants. Now let's move to the prosthetics and orthosis uh, topic. So this industry is anyway very vast. So there are different kinds of prosthetics are seen in the market in 3D printing. There are different companies who are already manufacturing the prosthetic using the 3D printing SLS solutions using PA2200 material and PA1101 materials. There are companies like Mercuris and the companies like Ottobock, Ankle Foot, and so there are different kinds of uh, prosthetics and orthoses that are developed for the industry, and since they are patient specific, the 3D printing is the right solution for them. So the benefits or the specific for the 3D printing are they are virtually limitless customized potential in terms of design and functionality, and optimal comfort is required for the wearer. So even the lightweight and stable design with the complex structures can be manufactured using 3D printing. These are sustainable because they use the less material and they consume less, and they leave less wastages behind, and any necessity to adjust the implant is quickly possible because it is not always necessary to go for a again as I mentioned, it's not necessary to go back to the tooling procedures. Here you just need to tweak the design. So for example, if a children is keep on going by the growing age, so they can there are possibilities of customizing their implants using 3D printing very quickly and increased comfort. So comfort is increased using 3D printing, and thanks to the functional integration for more elasticity and breathable designs that are available nowadays. And 3D printing takes care of any complex designs. And these are fully digital processes from scan to the finished product for faster availability. So let's have a look at the process chain through Mercuris. So the challenges is to develop customized prosthetic feet and enable neural walking behavior. And the facts and details on the challenges are globally only 5 to 15% of people with disability in mobility get prostheses. So these sort of challenges are already there because of complicated supply chains and people not aware of it. So the more and more adoptions are there to 3D printing, the better will be the problem solutions will be available, the better solutions will be available in the industry. So they have seen the three integrated cushion systems, and they have integrated it using 3D printing solutions. They have made the designs which are reliable, tested, and durable with CE certifications, CE mark certified implants. They are already supplying in the market, the Mercuries, and they have shortened the lead time by because of additive manufacturing. Within 10 days, the implants are ready to be fitted, and quality, of course, for the customized for the patients. So there is one more case study from Mercurius only to manufacture the prosthetic leg for a lady. You can just walk through this video. So the, the workflow is typically the same. It undergoes the scan of the body part of the patient and then design it and just print it using the model using the 3D printing process and those models. Yes, you can see how so this is the uh, look of how the 3D printing SLS 3D printing process works. So it's just print and depowder. The SLS printing doesn't require much post processing, and they are ready to be used. They are functional, mechanically they are strong. These materials are strong and bio-friendly. That is why they are widely adopted for the prosthetic and the other wearables, medical wearables. This is our EOS P396 machine. It uses the powder technology, and we call it SLS process. Yeah. So I'm just skipping this because I think we had enough idea of the prosthetic and orthoses that are possible through SLS process. Now let's have a look at the biocompatible materials. Okay, Aniket, can you give the feedback whether the screen is
Yes, yes. Now it is visible.
yeah, okay, thanks. So let's discuss about the biocompatible materials already available for healthcare in additive manufacturing. So in polymer, we have polyamide 11 materials, which is bio-based, ductile, and highly elongated, white in color. So this material has a application in orthoses, prosthetic, and fixtures, guides, and equipments. Then we have polyamide 12 material, which is PA0000. It is biocompatible and multi-purpose material for different applications and even widely used in healthcare industry. This is also white in color, and this has the application in orthoses, prosthetics, fixtures, guides, and equipments. Then we have another material which is PA2201, which is again biocompatible, multi-purpose, and this material is slightly translucent compared to PA2200. And this is an application for fixtures, guides because of translucent features. It has that capability where you can have the markings easily and conduct the operations. Then we have TPU 1301 material, which is kind of a shock absorbing material. It comes from elastomer family. This is also a thermoplastic. We have a carbon reduced material in the category, which comes from PA12. It has 45% less CO2 emissions in the environment. We have PA11 material, PA1101 climate neutral material, which has 100% CO2 emission free. And you can see the different materials have different carbon impact behind. So our PA2200 carbon reduced material has 45% less CO2 emission, PA1101 has 54% less, and PA1101 climate neutral has 100% carbon emission behind. So that was about the material. There are other materials also available in the SLS process, but these are the closest material for the healthcare industry and the healthcare applications. Let's move forward to uh, is powder based AM process sustainable? So let's have a look at what happens to the powder after the 3D printing process. So this starts with the job. So you have a job, you have a CAD data and material, first time use material. And the best part about this SLS process is that you can reuse the material. So here you can have a look at that, how it happens. So we take out the printed parts and we take out the recovered powder. We send it to the sieving. We sieve the powder. first time used, and then we mix with the new powder, the equal proportion, and then the powder is ready for the next use. So that is how we have been keep on using the material by refreshing it, which gives more sustainability within the process and reduce wastages in the environment. This is biocompatible. So biocompatible metal materials we have in portfolio, which is titanium grade 23. It is biocompatible and has high strength to weight ratio. So it can be foreseen for the applications like hip implant or different other implants and the medical devices and equipments with the titanium. And there we have a titanium ELI grade also in the metal 3D printing, which is also used for implant and medical device equipment manufacturing. Then we have titanium commercially pure titanium, which is again used for implant manufacturing. We have in additive manufacturing, we can see the cobalt chrome material also, which is high in strength to weight ratio, not strength to weight ratio, but high in fatigue strength, due to which the implants which are having high fatigue in normal day-to-day life can be seen to be developed using this cobalt chrome material. And then there are SS17, there is SS17-4 pH material, which is used for which is surgical friendly, and it is stainless because it is stainless highly, and it is used for surgical tools, orthopedic and instrumentations. Then we have SS316L material, which is again surgical friendly and corrosion resistant stainless steel. It's used for surgical guides and medical devices. So these are the materials which are there for additive manufacturing. Now let's have a look at what is the certifications, different certifications available in additive manufacturing. So in healthcare, we have several certifications. We have life cycle assessments. We have seen that our materials are highly sustainable with under different scenarios, and they are tested materials. So our materials, the SLS materials are biocompatible materials. Have tested the biocompatibility, the cytotoxicity and sensitization, and the other testings for the medical. Even our PA1101 material and PA2200 both are biocompatible materials, and they have undergone the cytotoxicity test. And then the 3D printed materials have seen the FDA sterilization, FDA approval also. So FDA has approved that these 3D printed PA2200 material is a food friendly material except the alcohol content. So there are certifications for these two. And like I mentioned, FDA has approved this PA2200 material for the food containing materials. So we have certification for that. We have a cytotoxicity assessment for titanium material also, where we have seen the material is not leaving the bad impact behind when it is undergoing the, and even the cell growth, cell culture growth also has been tested with the titanium material. Okay, so these are all about the certifications. Now let's have a look at the benefits of AM. So what is the benefits of additive manufacturing? So first you have highly customization possibility. So you can customize, and that's why different patients, different designs for different patients can be customized and manufactured easily. The different implants, wearable devices, and other healthcare devices. Then this is a tool-free process, so you don't need any tool, you don't need any modifications for that. This is a support-free process, especially the SLS process or SLS process doesn't require any support structures. So the post-processing is very easy, and you don't spend much time, and the parts coming out are precise and are very good in terms of quality. They don't require much post-processing. And powder is reusable, so you save on cost also. So the implants are affordable, and the cost per component is reduced because of reusability, and the process is sustainable. This comes with minimum post-processing as required. So you just print and then depowder and can directly use the material. You can directly use the implants, and even they are supporting to any kind of post-processing like dyeing and any other coloring processes on the material. This doesn't have any chemical exposures when it comes to the printing process. You don't need to involve any chemicals for cleaning or any other thing. You can densify the build. You can accommodate as many parts as possible if the space is available, and it supports the SLS process supports the on-the-fly 3D nesting in that direction. So you can accommodate multiple parts and use the process as a production process. It is very low in cost per part production because of these benefits. This process is also available with glass fill material, but this is not relevant to the medical maybe because glass fill material is not used, and this also comes with carbon compounded composite materials. There are some flame retardant materials available also in the SLS process. SLS materials don't require any post curing or UV light post curing, and they don't damage by the UV exposures. They are suitable for functional testing, so you can impart any design. You can think of implant to actually fit on time and as per demand of the patient and comfort of the patient. And even threading also is possible in SLS. So these all terms are relevant when it comes to the manufacturing and fitment part of the implants to the patient. So these are all benefits of SLS processes. Yeah. So since I think we are almost 48 minutes. The time won't permit, but I'll just get you through the DFAM in healthcare. What are all DFAM has been seen so far in the market. So I'll just flash through the slides. The multi-scale biofriendly structures, the hip cup to help in growth of tissues, assembly simplifications have been seen. The weight optimization have been seen in implant and the build optimization. I'll just flash through the slides because I think we are running out of time. So these are all today in metal 3D printing. These are all areas where implant manufacturing have been proved using 3D printing process. The knee, the shoulder, and the hip implants. So there are different DFAM case studies where people have developed different multi-scale structures for the bone in growth and for tissue in growth using the porous structures. And the porous structures and the engineered porous structures are very friendly and easily manufacturable using additive manufacturing, and they can even think of mimicking the bioarchitecture from the bone using 3D printing. So this is one example of engineered functional structure for the bone. This is done by Medacta. So they have printed the structures using the titanium material. You can see the results of first they have maximized the initial stability in growth, and they have also seen the uh, bone growth, and then they have shared the results of how the bones are growing and how they are adapting in 4 weeks and 12 weeks kind of what is the response of the bone growth and the tissue growth along with the structures, the 3D printed structures. And then third is the unparalleled versatility on the technology with multiple options. So they have reinforced with different structures like pyramid structures, and then they have reinforced the honeycomb structures also possible through 3D printing. So these are all DFAM aspects which have undergone the metal 3D printing. Even Smith and Nephew has done their own patented structures in the manufacturing of hip cups using the titanium materials. This is one case study where this device has undergone the DFAM as in the parts are consolidated and simplified, and there was no need of modifying the tooling. So application for this device was to prepare the blood samples for performing a blood panel. The challenge was to complex tool manufacturing for 32 separate parts for assembly, since the SSL injectors need to be painstakingly deburred. So using 3D printing, it was simplified in the way that there was no need of modifying the tools and all, and the parts were simplified from 32 number of child components to just three number of sub assemblies with the improved functionality. So this is one example where 3D printing has shown the great add-on in terms of value for manufacturing in the healthcare industry, the devices. Then we have seen the weight optimization. So there is one case study of weight optimizing for a patient who was suffering from canculum cancellous bone cancer. So this implant was manufactured in titanium, and it was incorporated with the lattice structures where the balance of the bone density and the material was done to balance out the mass that patient has to carry. So these are the different possibilities where 3D printing has been proving that there are possibilities to mimic the biostructures through easily through 3D printing, and there are possibilities to mimic the real environment for the implants to grow inside the patient body. This is one optimization for 3D printing where so this is optimization in the sense that normally in 3D metal 3D printing we require support structure. This is kind of a support free technology which is the adaptation for production in metal 3D printing. Easily these parts are plugged out after printing. Typically in the 3D printing, there are a lot of support structures required in the metal 3D printing, but through the US system and US improved processes, we are able to do the printing of almost support-free printing of these implants in titanium material. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, that's it. I mean, this is just an economic example where this is showing how economic the 3D printing is using the SLS process. This is just about 19 rupees to 20 rupees per gram if you have a machine in-house to manufacture. So typically in SLS process, the cost per cc is about 20 rupees, 19, 20 rupees. It can go up to 25 rupees to 30 rupees based on the operational conditions of your machine and how you're operating and handling the powder in the SLS process. And that's why we call SLS process is a production process because it can have a possibility of fulfilling as many parts as possible and the space allows.
Okay, thank you, Arun. So now we are at the end of our session. So now I would like to thank Mr. Arun and Suhas for delivering a very insightful webinar today. I'm very confident it was very helpful for. I'm very confident it was very helpful. Sorry for disturbance. Okay, so I'm very confident it was very helpful for our audience today. I also would like to thank our audience for taking their time out and joining this session. If you have any further questions related to the subject matters, you can see on the screen we have shared the contact details over there. You can connect with us and share your questions. We will definitely get back to you with the solutions. You can also reach out to us at any time and we would be happy to address your queries. Please do keep an eye on the upcoming seminars and webinars. You can follow us on our social media platform for the same. Thank you everyone for your time.